Hello everyone. Hope all of you are safely being at home. Welcome to the last session of the equilibrium of forces. As usual, let's have the little recap. What is equilibrium? When the resultant of the system of forces acting on the body is zero, then we say the body is in equilibrium. What are the conditions of equilibrium? Algebraic summation of all the forces in the horizontal direction as well as in the vertical direction are equal to 0. That is sigma fx is equal to 0 and sigma fy is equal to 0. These are the two conditions if the system of forces are the coplanar concurrent forces. If the system of forces are coplanar non-concurrent forces, then we have to add the third condition, sigma m is equal to 0, that is the algebraic summation of moment of all the forces about any one point is equal to 0. Okay, so again the free body diagram, which is very important, as you have seen in the last two sessions, to analyze the bodies under equilibrium. First step is to draw the free body diagram. If you draw the free body diagram correctly, then half of your problem you can consider as solved. So be careful while drawing the free body diagram. What is the free body diagram? It is the diagram which is freed from its contact surfaces or the connecting bodies, but showing all the forces acting on the body, including the internal forces. What are the internal forces? That is nothing but the weight and the reactions from the contact surfaces are called as the internal forces. You have to mark in the free body diagram. Remove the contact surface, mark the reactions and show the weight of the body. That's all the free body diagram. So again, tensile forces which act away from the body. You have to show in the free body diagram tensile forces as acting away from the body. If compressive forces, then that should be, you should show towards the body, and reactions of the contact surfaces. Here we consider all the contact surfaces as smooth surfaces, then the reactions acts perpendicular to the line of contact. And the bars, rods, etc. are can be subjected either to tensile forces or to compressive forces. Cable, strings, cords, ropes, they are subjected only to tensile forces. So in the free body diagram, you have to show those forces as away from the joint. So if the cables or the ropes or the strings passes over a smooth pulley, then tension on either side of the pulley would be one and the same. The same example as I am showing in every class. So a block is suspended by a string, it passes over a frictionless pulley. So the tension on the other side of the pulley also the same, that is 40 Newton. So we have solved almost 12 examples, 12 problems in the last few classes. So let's solve some more problems. So here combination of little difficult problems and simple problems. Let's go on. So yes, 13 problems were solved. So this is the 14th problem. Determine the reactions at contact points for the system shown in figure. Two spheres, one is of the radius 20 millimeter, another is of the radius 30 millimeter. Sphere 1 has the weight 100 Newton, sphere 2 has the weight 300 Newton, are enclosed in a channel channel is of width 90 mm. A sphere name is contact surfaces are named as S, R, P, Q. Last class also we have solved problems. They were resting, spheres were resting on an inclined plane and both the spheres were of the same radius, right? Here the spheres are of the different radius C and they are enclosed in a channel of width 90 mm. Okay, so this is the diagram given. Radius are given. We have to find the reactions at the contact surface or this here. This is the one contact surface. This is the another contact surface. This is the another contact surface. And this is the another contact surface. So at all these contact surfaces, you have to find out the reactions. So reaction between the two rollers at the point Q is along the line joining their centers. So reactions at the point Q, that is the reaction of sphere 2 on sphere 1 and the reaction of sphere 1 on sphere 2 will be along the line joining their centers. The angle for this reaction with horizontal, how to obtain? That's why the radius are all given. Okay, so using the data, let's see in the next slide how to obtain the angle between them. So the line A, B are marked as the center of the two spheres. So first sphere is of the radius 20 mm, second sphere is of the radius 30 mm. So here this radius, you can see here, this length is nothing but the radius, that is 20 mm. This length is nothing but the radius 30 mm. So out of 90, if you subtract 20 and 30, you get the 40 mm. That is this horizontal length. Okay, so we know the adjacent, we know the hypotenuse. So if the angle is alpha, cos alpha is hypotenuse is one radius is 20 mm, another radius is 30 mm. Here, so these radiuses 20 and 30, 50. So alpha is 36.87. Okay, find out the angle. So free body diagram of the two rollers are drawn. Here interesting, see here one is the weight 100 Newton. At the same point, reaction RS is acting towards the here. Same point, two forces are acting. One is the 100 Newton which is acting vertically downward and the other is the reaction at the contact surface S, that is RS, which is acting vertically upwards. Okay, so here at the same point there are two forces acting and the reaction at the point of contact R, and these are the reaction at the point of contact Q between the two spheres A and B. RQ, one is acting towards A and one is acting towards B. They are along the same line, they are equal in magnitude. but opposite direction. If you consider the free body diagram of the sphere B, one is the reaction at the contact surface Q, and another is the weight of the sphere 300 Newton, and there is the reaction at the contact surface P. This is the free body diagrams of the two rollers. So let's consider one by one. Let's consider the roller B. So if we draw the line diagram of the forces, see the force, how many forces are acting? There are only three forces are acting. So we can apply the Lami's theorem. So the line diagram of the forces are drawn. You can see the RP 300 Newton force and the RQ force. So all forces, remember that in order to apply the Lami's theorem, all the forces, either forces should be outward or forces should be inward. So here all the forces are shown as outward. RP, if you extend it along the line of action, principle of transmissibility of forces, you can transmit the force along the line of action in the same direction. Similarly, RP, which is acting towards left, here also you can see it is acting towards left. RQ is acting towards right, upward. 300 Newton force acting vertically downward. The line diagram is drawn to apply the Lami's theorem. So by applying the Lami's theorem, what does the Lami's theorem says? Each force is proportional to sine of the angle between the other two forces. So RP by sine of angle between RQ and 300 Newton force, that is 90 plus 36.87, that you get it as 126.87, that is equal to RQ by sine 90, that is the angle between the other two forces RP and 300 Newton, that is angle 90 degree, that is equal to 300 by sine of angle between RP and RQ, that is 180 minus 36.87. So by solving this, you get RP as 400 Newton and RQ as 500 Newtons. Simple, isn't it? If you draw the free body diagram, if you draw the line diagram properly, then finding out the answers are not difficult. Okay. So let's consider the free body diagram of the sphere A. Here, how many forces are acting? Reaction at the contact point R, 100 Newton force, weight of the sphere, and at the same point, reaction at the contact point S, RS, and the RQ. Total 4 forces are acting. That means we cannot apply the Lami's theorem here. We have to apply conditions of equilibrium. Okay. So see here the contact surface. Yes, at that point both weight and the reaction acts. So what we have to do, we have to apply the conditions of equilibrium. Sigma fx is equal to 0 or sigma h is equal to 0. What are the forces acting? RR, that is acting horizontally, and the horizontal component of RQ, that is RQ cos 36.87, it is acting downwards towards left, so it is minus 100 Newton, and the RS forces are acting vertically, hence they do not have any horizontal component, only two horizontal forces. So it is easy to find. RQ we have already found out from the sphere B. So only unknown is RR. RR is, RQ is 500. We have got it in the previous free body diagram of the sphere B. So substitute RQ as 500, so you get RR as 400 Newton. Next is apply the another condition. What is the another condition? Summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. That is sigma Fy is equal to 0. Apply what are the vertical forces? One is the Rs, which is acting vertically upwards. So plus minus 100. Why? It is acting vertically downward. And again the vertical component of the RQ, that is again downward, hence minus RQ sine 36.87. Those are all equal to, summation is equal to 0. So only unknown is Rs. Find out Rs. That also you get it as 400 Newton. See, so all depends on your free body diagram. If you draw the free body diagram properly, you can solve the problem easily. So let's move on to the next problem. Okay, assignment. What is the problem solved just now? Take this as the assignment. Okay, class A, solve the assignment 1, that is two spheres, each of weight 50 Newton and of radius 10 centimeter, rest in a horizontal channel of width 36 centimeter. Find the reactions on the points of contact. This is the assignment for the section A, and this is the assignment for the section B. Both are similar, so you can solve both the problems. That is for your practice. So this problem for the assignment for the section B, two spheres each of weight 1000 Newton and of radius 25 centimeter. Both are of the same radius and of the same weight. Rest in a horizontal channel of width 90 centimeter. Find the reactions at the point of contacts A, B, C and D. Please add here and D. Okay. So these are the assignments. Please solve the problem, submit the assignment. Only one have submitted till now. Okay. Let's move on to the next problem. Now it is the case of 3 cylinders. We have seen the problems of 1 cylinder and 2 cylinder. Now it is the case of 3 cylinder. Similar to previous problem, 3 cylinders weighing 500 Newton and 24 units in diameter. Diameter is given, observe, not the radius, are placed in a channel as shown in the figure. Determine the reactions at all the contact points. Take cylinders as smooth. That means contact reactions will act perpendicular to the line of contact. That's all. So here the spheres, all spheres weigh the same 500 Newton. All spheres are of the same diameter 24 units. So we have to, you know that the reactions at the contact point two will act along this line, right? So we have to find out the angle here. Similarly, the reactions at the contact point 3 will act along this line. So we have to find out the angle of inclination here also. But as all the spheres are of the same radius, so alpha both side alpha 1 alpha 2 would be equal. Okay, so since the diameter is 24, this length will be equal to, radius is 12 units. Here also radius would be 12 units. Okay. So the width of the channel is given as 58. So out of that, if you subtract 24, 12 plus 12, you get the remaining width as 34, and this length we know. What is that length? That is 12 plus 12. Each sphere radius is 12. So 12 plus 12, that is 24. So alpha 1, that is equal to alpha 2, is cos inverse. So here it is, only in this triangle it is considered. We consider half of the triangle, right angle triangle. So this width in between the midpoint of BC, that is of the, if total length is 34, that would be 17. So cos alpha 1 is equal to 17 by 24. So you get alpha as 44.9. Okay. Next step, as usual, is to draw the free body diagram. All the three free body diagrams are shown here. See, the reaction are acting perpendicular to the line of contact at the point 1, point 6, point 5, point 4. So at this point, you can see the both the weight, here also both the weight and the reactions are acting along the same line. Okay, so two forces are there at that line. One is acting upwards, that is the reaction. Remember, reactions will always act towards the body. And here the weight always acts vertically downwards. So here also weight 500 Newton, 500 Newton and R5. The reactions at the contacts of the two spheres, that is at the point 2, R2, which acts along the same line but in opposite direction. Similarly here R3, which is again acting along the same line but in opposite direction. This is your free body diagram. We have found out the angle of inclination of R2 and R3, that is 44.9. Okay. So let's consider the sphere A. How many forces are acting? Three forces are acting. You can apply the Lami's theorem also, or we can apply the conditions of equilibrium as applied here. Three forces, R2, which is inclined at 44.9 with the horizontal. This R3 also same angle. One is the weight which acts vertically downward. So if we apply the condition sigma fx is equal to 0, R2 cos 44.9, that is positive horizontal component of R2 acts towards right, minus R3 cos 44.9, the horizontal component of R3 acts towards left, so minus only two horizontal components, that is equal to 0, hence R2 is equal to R3 cos 44.9 gets cancelled out. So next, apply the sigma Fy is equal to 0 condition. The vertical component of R2 is acting upwards, R2 sin 44.9. Vertical component of R3 is also acting upward, that is R3 sin 44.9. And the 500 Newton force is acting vertically downward, so minus 500, that is equal to 0. So you get, we know that R2 is equal to R3. So by substituting and solving, we get R2 that is equal to R3 is 354.172 Newton. Okay. Next, consider the free body diagram of the sphere B. Four forces are acting: R1, R2, just now we have found out R2, Rs and the 500 Newton force. So we have to apply the conditions of equilibrium itself. We cannot apply Lami's theorem. Apply sigma fx is equal to 0. What are the horizontal forces? Two horizontal forces. One is R1, which is acting directly horizontally, that is acting towards right, so plus R1. The horizontal component of R2 is R2 for cos 44.9, that acts leftward, so minus. So R2 we have just now we have found out. So find out R1, that is equal to 250.874 Newton. Next is apply the condition, second condition, that is sigma Fy is equal to 0. So what are the vertical forces? R6 that acts vertically upward, 500 Newton that acts vertically downward, so R6 minus 500. R1 does not has any vertical component. The vertical component of R2 is acting vertically downwards, so minus R2 sine 44.9. So R2 we have found out already in the sphere BA. So substitute and find out R1 as, sorry, that is not R1, that is R6. That also you get it as 250.874 Newton. Next, consider the sphere C. Again there are four forces, so we have to apply the conditions of equilibrium. So sigma fx is equal to 0. Find out what are the horizontal components. Horizontal component of the force R3 that acts towards right, R3 cos 44.9. Another horizontal component force is R4 that is acting towards left, so minus R4 is equal to 0. You get R4 as 250.874 Newton. Apply the next condition, sigma Fy is equal to 0. So R5 which acts vertically upwards, positive, minus 500 Newton is acting vertically downward. R4 is not having any vertical component, and R3 which is acting vertically downward, so minus R3 sine 44.9 is equal to 0. You get R5 as 750 Newton. So yes, three spheres, but it is not at all difficult if you draw the free body diagram properly. Okay. So let's move on to the next problem. Find the tension in the string and reaction at the contact surface for the cylinder of weight 1000 Newton placed as shown in figure. Okay, what is the next sentence? Solved by Lami's theorem. See, if nothing is mentioned, we can solve either by Lami's theorem or by conditions of equilibrium. But if it is mentioned, we have to solve by the mentioned. Here it is mentioned Lami's theorem. So we have to solve this by Lami's theorem. A sphere is resting on an inclined plane which is inclined at 60 degree. So it is connected to a string that is inclined at 20 degree. What is the next step? Yes, next step is to draw the free body diagram of the sphere for showing all the forces acting on the body. Sorry, this is inclined at 50 degree, not 60 degree. This is 50 degree. Not 60. Okay, so here what are the forces acting? One is the weight of the sphere, that is given as 1000 Newton, and there is the tension, it is connected to the string. So strings are subjected only to the tensile forces. So you have to show the forces away from the body, that is T, and the reaction that acts perpendicular to this. So if the plane is inclined at 50 degree, then the reaction will be 90 minus 50, that is 40 degree with the horizontal, or 50 degree with the vertical. Okay, so what is the angle of inclination of the string? Yes, see here, you get the angle of inclination as 30 degree. Think about it, why it is 30 degree. Yes, string is inclined to the plane at 20 degree, right? So this is the Lamis theorem. Line diagram of the forces are shown. Three forces, 1000 Newton force, and the reaction R, and the tensile force T. So R by sine 120 is equal to T by sine 130, that is the angle between R and 1000, that is 40 plus 90, you get it as 130. 1000 by sine 110, that is the angle between R and T, that is you get it as 180 minus 40 minus 30. Okay, so by applying the Lamis theorem, you get only two steps, you get the answer. R is equal to 921.6 Newton and T is equal to 815.2 Newton. So let's move on to the next problem. It is interesting. A 3 kilonewton crate is to be supported by the rope and pulley arrangement as shown in figure. Determine the magnitude and direction of the force F which should be exerted at the free end of the rope. This is the diagram given. A 3 kilonewton crate is to be supported by the rope and pulley arrangement as shown in figure. Determine the force F. So here what you are observing, here two ropes. These two ropes are also passing over a frictionless pulley. Okay, so what is the rule? If the rope or the string passes over a frictionless pulley, then tension on either side of the pulley will be one and the same. Okay, and what we are observing here, the same rope is again passing over the frictionless pulley. See, here the tension on either side of the pulley will be one and the same. So these two tensions will be equal, but what we are observing, the same stream is again passing over the pulley. So these three forces are equal, isn't it? This force is named as F, so this is also F, this is also F. Okay. So if we draw the line diagram or the free diagram, see these two are equal, so considered as one force, that is 2F. I just explained how we got 2F. These two are passing over the frictionless pulley, so tension on either side will be one and the same. And since again it is passing over the frictionless pulley, so tension on the other side of the pulley would be the same, so that is given as F. So this there are two ropes, so it is 2F. Okay. So this is how once you draw the free body diagram, rest are easy. Just apply the Lami's theorem, or if you want you can apply the conditions of equilibrium also. So here we have to find the angle beta and angle alpha also. How to find? If you observe, data are given 3.6 meter and 1.05 meter. So beta is equal to tan inverse 3.6 by 1.05, that is 73.74. So alpha is unknown. We don't have any other data to get that. We have to find out. So this is the line diagram of the forces or the free body diagram. Apply the condition sigma fx is equal to 0. What are the horizontal forces or the x components? 3 kilonewton does not has any x component because it is acting vertically. Hence, the x component of the force F is F cos alpha. Here it is condition of equilibrium has been applied. F cos alpha minus 2F cos beta is equal to 0. Next, apply, you get cos alpha as 2 cos, FF gets cancel out. So cos alpha is 2 cos beta. Beta we had found out just now. It is 73.74. So alpha is 53.94. Next, sigma Fy is 0. Apply that condition. So substitute all the y components are the vertical components, that is f sine alpha plus 2f sine beta minus 3 is equal to 0. So we know alpha now. So substitute, you get the force F as 1.09 kilonewton. See here, you try to solve this by Lami's theorem. Okay, it would not be easier. Whenever, please remember that whenever the angle is unknown, don't solve by Lami's theorem. It is better you apply the conditions of equilibrium. If the angles are unknown, it is difficult to solve by Lami's theorem. Go for conditions of equilibrium only. If only three forces are acting also, if the angle is unknown, go for conditions of equilibrium, not Lami's theorem. You can try it out by Lami's theorem. You can see which one is easier. Definitely it is the conditions of equilibrium. Okay. Next, move on to the next problem. Draw the free body diagram of the sphere. It is enclosed in a resting in a groove. Determine the reactions at the point of contact. Simple problem. Only two contact points A and B, under force acting is the 1 kilonewton weight of the sphere. So angles are given 30 and 45 degree. So it is simple. Free body diagram. As I told, the reaction at the point A, which is perpendicular to the line of contact. So line is inclined at 30 degrees, so the reaction will be 90 minus 30, that is 60 degree with the horizontal, or if you want to consider with the vertical, it would be 30 degree with the vertical. Here at the point P, again perpendicular to the line of contact, that means 90 minus 45, that is 45. 1 kilonewton is the weight of the sphere. This is the free body diagram of the sphere. So the line diagram, if you are applying the Lami's theorem, it is better to draw the line diagram. See here, observe the difference. Here all the forces are shown as outward forces. If you have to apply the Lami's theorem, either the forces should be outward or inward. See here, two forces are inward, the 1 kilonewton force is outward. So show the forces as outward, or RB acting towards left upward, RA acting towards right upward, 1 kilonewton vertically downward. So find out the angle between them. RA by angle between RB and 1 kilonewton force, that is 90 plus 45 sine 135, that is equal to RB by the sine of the angle between the other two forces, that is 60 plus 90, that is sine 150, is equal to 1 by sine of 180 minus 45 minus 60. You get the angle as 75. So find out the unknowns RA and RB, that is 0.732 kilonewton and 0.518 kilonewton. Very simple problem. Yes, these are all the problems asked in the previous exams, taken from the question paper. So this also was asked for 10 marks. Very simple problem. Only thing is you should know how to draw the free body diagram. Remember that reactions always acts perpendicular to the line of contact. So here is the next assignment. Determine the tension in the string and the reaction at the contact surface of the cylinder of weight 1000 Newton placed as shown in figure. So here you have to find the angle of inclination of the string. Last problem also we have solved one problem, previous not but one, similar type. So take this as the assignment. See here, the line is making the angle 60 degree with the horizontal, right? So what is the angle of string? 60 minus 50, that is, you get it as I think 45 degree. Okay. So let's move on to the next problem. 5 guy wires tied at a point and pulled in radial direction, equally spaced from one another. Please observe, for this no diagram is given. You have to draw the diagram. 5 guy wires tied at a point and are pulled in radial direction, equally spaced from one another. If the magnitude of the pulls on 3 consecutive wires is 50 kilonewton, 70 kilonewton and 60 kilonewton, determine the magnitude of pulls on 2 other wires. So we have there are 5 guy wires. They are pulled in radial direction, that is in circular. direction. So circle, you know, total angle is 360 degree. These for the wires are equally spaced. So 360 by 5. Angle between the two adjacent wires will be 360 by 5, that is 72 degree. So mark the 5 wires. Since these are wires, they we know that cable, wires, strings, ropes, all are subjected only to tensile forces. So mark the forces as away from the joint. They are all equally spaced. It is at 72 degree. 3 wires, we know the magnitude of the forces, that is 50, 70 and 60. You can mark for any 3 forces. Other 2 forces will be unknown. Let it be T1 and T2. Okay. So this diagram we have to draw. Diagram is not given. Okay. So this is the diagram just drawn. T1 and T2 are the unknown forces. So as usual, apply the conditions of equilibrium. Summation of all the forces along x-axis are equal to 0, or summation of all the horizontal forces are equal to 0. 50 is acting horizontally, so 50 towards right plus 70 kilonewton towards right. Angle of inclination is 72 degrees, so plus 70 cos 72 minus, here interesting, what is the angle between 60 and T1? 72, right? So with the horizontal it makes, because they are equally spaced, so 72 by 2, that makes 36 degree. Okay, so see, we have to consider the angle of inclination either with horizontal or vertical, remember. So here the angle between the 60 kilonewton and the T1 is 72 degree. So what is the angle with the horizontal? That is 72 by 2, that is 36. Okay, T1 cos 36, that is acting towards left, so minus, plus T2 cos 72, because 50 Newton is acting horizontally, so angle between T2 and 50 will be 72 only, that is equal to 0. All the 5 forces, horizontal components we have written. So you get the answer as T1 cos 36 minus T2 cos 72 is equal to 23.09. Now apply algebraic summation of all the vertical forces as equal to 0. Get it as 70 sine 72 upwards plus 60 sine 36, that is also upwards, minus T1 sine 36, that is downwards, so minus T2 sine 72, that is also downwards, hence minus 50 kilonewton force does not has any vertical component as it is acting directly horizontally. Okay. So we get the another equation, T1 sine 36 plus T2 sine 72 is equal to 101.84. So from equation 1 and 2, we can find solving these equations. We get T1 as 56.18 kilonewton, T2 as 72.36 kilonewton. Okay. Let's move on to the next problem. Interesting. Investigate whether the given system of forces shown in figure 1 and 2 are in equilibrium or not. This is the figure 1. If not, state the type of motion that exists. Okay. So here 3 forces are acting. Next, let's see the next diagram. A rectangular block. Several forces are acting. So what is the condition for to check whether the given system of forces are in equilibrium or not? We know how to find the resultant, right? We have drawn solved many problems. So what we have to do, we have to just to find the resultant force. Okay, to find the resultant force, what is the method? Resolve the forces along horizontally and vertically and find out sigma fx and sigma fy. If both are equal to 0, and in the non-concurrent force system, the second diagram you are seeing, that is the non-concurrent force system, we have to apply the third condition also, sigma m is equal to 0. See, the body will be in equilibrium if all the three conditions satisfies. That is sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0, and sigma m is equal to 0. If any one of them is also not 0, then we can say body is not in equilibrium. Okay. If the body is to be in equilibrium, resultant should be 0. When the resultant will be 0? If sigma fx is not 0, that means resultant is acting along x direction, right? If r sigma fx is 0 and sigma fy is not 0, that means resultant is acting along y direction. Yes, sigma fx is also 0, sigma fy is also 0, but the moment is not 0, then resultant is a couple. So resultant is not 0. That means body is not in equilibrium. Okay. Only if all the conditions satisfy, then only we can say the body is in equilibrium. See, we apply the condition for the first problem. Sigma fx is equal to 0. So 10 minus 30 cos 30 is equal to 0. Only Rx, you get it as 15.98 Newton. So we got the resultant, we didn't get the resultant as 0. Here Rx, it is the x component of the resultant is sigma fx. Two horizontal components, 10 minus 30 cos 30. So Rx is not 0, that means resultant is not 0. It is not in equilibrium. So body moves towards the left. Next one. So here when we find out, we get Rx also as 0 and Ry also as 0. So the resultant is 0. But if we take the moment about any one point, then there are three moments. The 5 kilonewton force, 100 kilonewton force is producing the moment, that is 100 into 5. Anti-clockwise, 200 kilonewton force is producing moment, minus 200 into 10, that is also anti-clockwise, hence minus, and the 10 kilonewton meter moment is given in the anti-clockwise direction, so minus 10. So you get MA as 2510 Newton millimeter. Here the moment is not 0, hence again the body is not in equilibrium. Okay. So that's all for the chapter equilibrium of forces. So you know conditions of equilibrium. So the body would be in equilibrium if all these conditions satisfies. Just now we have seen in the example, if any one of the condition also doesn't satisfy, then the resultant would not be 0. That means body is not in equilibrium. Important thing is to analyze this is to draw the free body diagram. If you draw the free body diagram properly, mark all the angles properly, directions properly, then your 70% of the work is done. Only now you have to substitute, you have to apply the conditions, equilibrium condition, or if only three forces are there, you can even solve by applying Lami's theorem. Whichever is convenient, you can follow that, either the conditions of equilibrium or Lami's theorem. But remember, If the angles are unknown, don't go to apply the Lami's theorem. It would be slightly difficult. So if the angles are unknown, then go for conditions of equilibrium. You can easily solve those problems. So solve and find the answer. Consider the free body diagrams one by one if multiple bodies are acting as shown in the previous examples. One by one, consider the free body diagram of the sphere which has less unknown forces. As we have seen in the last problems, the first and the second problems, we have seen 3 spheres were there. Out of the 2 spheres had 4 forces. Remember, only the sphere A, I suppose, had 3 forces. So consider the free body diagram of the sphere which has the less forces first. Then consider any other sphere, okay, so that we can find out the unknown forces easily. So this is how we analyze the bodies under the equilibrium. Okay, remember the steps. First observe the diagram. If any angle has to be find out the angles. Draw the free body diagram, mark the reactions properly. Reactions always acts towards the body perpendicular to the line of contact, and mark the other forces acting on the strings, cables, rods, etc. Strings, cables, the forces are always subjected to tensile forces, so mark it away from the body. Don't forget to show the weight of the body. Weight always acts vertically downwards. If you once complete the free body diagram, then apply conditions of equilibrium and find out the answer. Okay, thank you very much. Don't forget to write down the assignments. Okay, I'll stop here.